This is how to get business credit without a personal guarantee. And this is how to get a lot of business credit without a personal guarantee. Okay. So this is going to be very powerful for people. But as you're going through our program in Credit Leverage X, we actually have a couple ways of doing business funding. So this is the most up-to-date information. And this is just from me scraping the barrels of Dun and Bradstreet documents and doing thousands of applications for people and really just being determined to completely figure this business credit stuff out, right? So I can scale your guys' business. And the main thing that this is, though, this is more or less how to get business credit without a personal guarantee, without using your personal credit. This is the holy grail, though. This is everything, I've been working towards helping people, change their lives dramatically. And it's all based on business credit, right? So the first person I want to talk about is this guy. So Sam, right? He got his first job at JCPenney's and he only made $75. Like it just said $75. I don't even know if that's a year or what, but it's not a lot of money, right? He fought for his country in World War II. He came back from the war, and with the help of his father-in-law, he bought a franchise called Ben Franklin's in Newport, Arkansas. He would buy products in Tennessee wholesale, and then he would sell them in Arkansas. He ended up buying more and more and more Ben Franklin companies. At one point, he had 5 of these different shops all over Arkansas. And then the franchise didn't like that he was being so successful or he was doing things, and they had this big blow up. So then Sam decided, okay, I'm going to start my own little shop. And that turned into Walmart, right? Walmart started in Arkansas with 5 stores and now has over 10,000 stores and has become the #1 retailer in the world. Walmart buys 80% of everything on business credit. This is literally what Walmart does. They use business credit to fill the shelves, and then they collect and save all the cash to buy new locations and expand. And the reason I put this in here is because I want you guys to understand this. They use business credit to fill the shelves. Okay, they use business credit to keep their business floating. They use business credit to keep the customers coming in, and then they keep all the cash, right? And they use the cash to buy real estate, to buy more shops, to buy more stores. So this is super powerful. And next time you guys go to Walmart, just look at all the crap on all the shelves, on everything, and tell yourself, like, that's all business credit. Like, they didn't use any of their own money. They used all of other people's money to do this. And why is business credit so amazing, right? All right, you can get approved regardless of your consumer credit. You can get no personal guarantees required. No consumer credit is required. Credit limits 10 to 100 times the consumer. With SBA loans and stuff like that, you can get 10 times more money for your business without consumer credit. Consumer credit is nice, but like I said, the real money is in the business credit. Get credit quickly because your scores are based on payment history. Get approved regardless of cash flow, credit, or collateral. It's separate from your consumer report and your commercial, and it establishes your credibility with lenders, suppliers, and credit issuers. All right. So these are the 4 steps or 7 steps to getting business credit. And what's crazy is after all the research, all the, beating my head against the wall, all the applications, all the things that we've done, it's very simple, and it's wildly simple, actually, to build business credit. So it starts by you have to have a fundability foundation. So this just means you have to have your business set up legitly. Like, your business has to seem like a real business. Okay, 90% of the reason you get denied for business credit cards is because you don't have a real business set up. You don't have a real address. You don't have a real business phone number. You don't have a real website for your business. You don't show up anywhere on social media, which is kind of interesting, because we were talking with bankers at SoFi. And SoFi, for really big loans now, they'll actually have you to check your credit, your social media profiles. So this is just something to start doing. That's just one bank. Not all banks do this. And then basically the next step is to monitor your credit report, right? So you start with tier 1, though. So you make sure that your business is set up like a legit business. You have your bureau profile verification. Okay, so there's only 3 ways to really check your credit. Oh, come on. So there's only 3 ways, and it's basically you have to go to Equifax, right? Equifax, you'll be able to check your credit, your business credit. So you go up here, you click on business credit, and you basically have to get your report through Equifax. And then there's Experian, same thing. You have to go to the business account to get your business credit report. And then there's Dun & Bradstreet. So these are the only 3 real bureaus that anybody cares about when they're pulling your business credit. And that's very, very important that you know that. So there's Equifax, Experian, and the Dun & Bradstreet. All right, or the DUNS number, right? And this is the only bureaus that matter when it comes to business credit. And like whenever we're trying to build up our business credit, right? It starts by making sure your business looks legit. right? And it could be a totally fake business, but at least it needs to look legit, right? And then you want to check your credit verification, right? And the way that you do this is you basically make sure that all of this stuff that you have and all the paperwork and everything is the same across all platforms. All right. And then now we can start to build your tier 1 credit. Now, these are going to be business lines of credit that are not attached to your personal social security at all. And it all starts with vendors and like just very basic business credit cards. Okay. I'm going to have a list of them at the end of this, and I'll show this to you. So you start with the tier 1, then you go up to monitoring your business credit, like I just showed you. So first you apply, and you want to apply to as many of these tier 1 vendor credit cards as humanly possible in the beginning, because the way that business credit works is you're just stacking different credit profiles. They don't care about your revenue, really. They don't care about your business age as much. I mean, they do care about these things, but the main thing that they care about is how many credit files do you have reporting to your business? How many do you have? Do you have 5? Do you have 6? The reality is we start to see some serious growth after you have 10 accounts reporting to your business credit. Okay, so once you get to 10, the whole world opens up to you. Once you get to 14, you can actually start getting cars and you can start getting trucks in your business credit profile. And all that matters is that you have multiple business lines of credit reporting to all of the business credit reports. All right, this is very, very cool. So you start by building your tier 1, you monitor your business credit. Okay, you want to apply to like 20 of these business credit cards because not all of them are reporting to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. Actually, most of them don't, and I'll show you the ones that do though. Then you start building tier 2, and then you can start getting advanced in tier 3, and then the whole world opens up to you in about tier 4. And there's different tiers to this business credit stuff, and this is kind of what we're going to get into now. All right. So credibility. I'm setting up your business. All right. You want to have a good business name. You want to have a business license if possible. You want to have your EIN number. You want to have a physical address. You want to have a separate business phone number. 411 is kind of old school. You just want to be in all of the directories, right? You want to have a Google map. You want to have a business directory. You want to be something that looks bona fide if they look you up. You want to have a business website. You want to have a professional email, and you want to have in your public records, you do not want to have any liens or judgments or lawsuits against your business. That's very, very important. So this is what I wanted to show you. Let me see. So there's different applications, right? So Capital on Tap is one that we go to a lot for business. So if you're ever asking yourself, so Robert, like, what do I need to look legit to the banks? Go to an application, and you basically want to look at all the things that they are asking for. Okay. When you go to get a business credit card with Chase, there we go, business, they're going to ask you for your social security number, right? So if they ask you for your social security number, then it's not legit just on your business side. Whereas Capital on Tap does not ask you for your social security number at all. Okay, so this is what they ask you. So these are the things that you need to have look legit in order to get business credit, if that makes sense. Okay, so you have to have a business name. You can do doing business as. You have to have a legit business address. Look, they're gonna look it up. You have to have a business phone number. You have to either be a corporation or an LLC. Those are the only options. They don't like us and the other ones. Okay. How old is your business? So age matters. What industry is your business? The industry matters. Your EIN number. What is your monthly revenue? Here's your website. And then it says your details. Look, it says optional, meaning you don't even have to put anything about yourself in this in order to get business credit. You know, you don't think like the Walton family is backing all those loans, right? No, the business is backing all the credit, all the bureaus, all the work. And then account details, you got to have a business email. You have to have a business bank account, right? And then you can apply for business credit, all right? So these are the things that matter. The things that matter, actually, I think I have it here. So when you're setting up your business correctly, you want to pick a good business name. You want to get a virtual office, not a virtual address. Okay, so when I go to virtual office providers, the ones that pop up are going to be Regis, DaVinci, iPostal. But you want to make sure that you get a virtual office so that if they look you up online, you pop up, you show up, right? That's really what we want. And then you want to get a business phone number. Okay, so for business phone numbers, I recommend Ring Central. These guys are pretty cheap. And if you guys don't have an LLC yet, you want to set this up before you sign up for the LLC. And then when you do the LLC, you have it all ready. Okay, and then you want to have a professional website and social media. You can pay us to do it, or you can pay somebody else. I recommend just get like a Wix website. Super easy. Click and click and click. You want to set up your business email. Okay, and then you want to set up your LLC. Now you see I have the LLC down here because you need all this crap set up before you go to the LLC, because once you document the LLC, now you're going to put all this information into the LLC. Okay, and then you're going to get a business license. Now, the reason you want to get a business license, I'll show you a little bit down the road, but it just makes you look more legit, right? And you can do it state by state. It's not that big a deal. And then you're going to get to open up a business bank account. All right. Then you're going to get your Dun and Bradstreet number. And then this was, let me see. I think this is the reason you want to get a business license. Well, this is one of the reasons. So this company will give you a line of credit for 25 grand in their business just because you have a business license. So this is one of the reasons why you want to get a business license, because these guys will give you a line of credit towards your business for 25 grand, which is what you want because you really want big lines of credit in the beginning. And then basically you get your Dun and Bradstreet number, you get your business license, and then now we can move on to the next step. All right. So that's like the basics though. So again, the biggest reason most people get shut down when we apply for business credit is because they have something screwed up on here and with what the Secretary of State has on their records. Okay. So you want to make sure that everything is legit, and now we can move on. And so like the biggest thing is setting up your business correctly. All right. So business credit is the ultimate solution. All right. And maybe you've had the reason you're here and you're going to learn about this. Maybe you've tried business credit in the past. It didn't work. You've had a lot of headaches. We have a simple process that will get you this business credit so that you can fund and grow. All right. So how is consumer credit started, right? And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want to nail this home. All right. Consumer credit is built. All right. Just because you have a social security number doesn't mean that you have a consumer credit profile, right? You guys probably have heard of lots of people that just never use their credit, or when you're born, you have a social, but you don't have a credit score. Okay. But they don't actually establish their credit until they apply for new credit and get approved in the credit reports on their personal credit report by the personal credit report agencies. All right. Once accounts are reported to the consumer agencies, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, after 6 months, you will get a FICO score, and the consumer score will be able to do it. So looking deeper, first you get credit you apply for. Second, the application is approved for credit and reports to the credit reporting agencies. Thirdly, the credit is reported to trade lines are now established. A trade line is just a new account on your credit report. Okay. Fourthly, as multiple accounts are reported, a credit report profile will be established. Finally, due to the reporting trade lines and establishment of your credit profile, you'll have enough information to get a credit score will be issued. This is how consumer credit is set up. And business credit is very, very similar. Right. But how it starts, somebody who has no trade lines reporting, no credit profile, no credit score. If this person were to walk into a bank and try and get a credit card, a car loan, a mortgage, or financing, the credit would be pulled. But due to the lack of credit, they would be denied financing of all types because they just don't have a file. If that same person obtains a secured credit card or two and waited until those accounts reported, then they would have reported the trade lines, an established credit profile, an established credit score. So now they went into the store and asked for a line of credit, and they would be approved. Okay, so that's how it starts, though. You have to go through the process, and it's the same thing for business credit. Fundamentally, the consumer and business credit work exactly the same. Just because you have an EIN number does not mean that you haven't established your credit. So just like if you have a social, it doesn't mean you've established your credit. So if you walk into a bank with your EIN number, you're always going to get denied, guaranteed, right? That is unless you did a good job, or unless you have good personal credit, and then you can use that to get approved. That's how you can fast forward this, all right? But that's why so many people fail at building business credit. They think, oh, just because I have a business, I should get business credit, or oh, just because my business makes money. No, that's not how it works. Okay, business credit works by getting as many lines of credit as possible on your business, paying back every single month, and building relationships, right? The banks, credit card companies will be checking your social sometimes. In fact, they're going to be doing that. Sitting at the bank, I thought I would simply have your tax ID number, blah, blah, blah. You get credit cards, a corporation. Nope. Of course, the banks won't approve you for cards and funds. The EIN has no established credit. Our consumer credit building and business credit building, same thing. You can't start the foundation for your business credit by building the roof first, right? You have to build the foundation. You have to set it up correctly, and you have to start to set up and build these relationships with these banks. Otherwise, you're going to get denied 100% of the time. And also, if you go out of order, okay, if you start just applying for all these different credit cards, you're going to get denied automatically. All right, so how to build business credit. First, you build the trade line report. All right, you get all the different vendors and all the different reports to you, and then you look them up on Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. All right, then you're going to establish your credit profile, and then you're going to obtain a business credit score. Once you actually have a business credit score, now you can go and get to the second tier, and you can start to apply for more business credit. All right, and then finally, once you're established your credit profile, you'll start to get revolving credit accounts. You'll start to get cash credit. You'll start to be able to get auto financing. Most consumers start with secured credit cards, blah, blah, blah. And you can also, there's no such thing as like a co-signed account really in the business credit world. All right, but that's what vendors do for you. So let's talk about vendors now. because there's a lot of misconceptions of why vendors are powerful and why they're good on the internet. Okay, so a net 30 account would mean that it needs to get paid in 30 days. Okay, so if you ever hear somebody say net 30, net 90, net 60, that means you have 30 days to pay back the line of credit, or that means you have 60 days to pay back the line of credit. All right. Unlike with revolving accounts, you have a set time that you can pay it back from the borrow credit, right? These guys want to be paid back anything that you spend within 30 days or within 60 days. That's how it works. So business credit is different in that way because they're not going to do like a monthly payment. They're going to be like, I want to get paid all my money at least within 30 days once you get your money back from your business. So to start a business credit profile the right way, the accounts that report to the business credit reporting agency, once you've done, you want to get accounts that report to the credit bureau and the credit reporting agency. And typically it's just like going into these different lines of vendors and applying and buying stuff, right? And then basically once you buy stuff on credit, then it gets reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. Once the trade lines has reported, you've established a credit profile. You just want to keep doing this. Using your newly established business credit profile, you then get approved for more and more credit, for store credit, and then eventually more store credit without needing to supply your Social Security at all. All right. This is possible even now that your EIN is not completely established, right? That's why these beginner vendor accounts are so powerful because they don't even care about your social. They just want to see that your business is set up correctly, and they'll give you a line of credit on the EIN that you're building, and that EIN number is going to become its own thing. All right, so now you know more about business credit, but before you start getting revolving credit at the stores or cash or Visa, you basically have to do these couple other things. So basically you have to need to get your credit to report to the credit bureaus. And so the lending paradox is, how do I get these credit reports to report if I don't have any business credit first? So that's why we have to basically get all these beginner vendors first, right? There's going to be 4 tiers to this. And the first tier, I'll show you guys which ones to go for. Once you get 14 trade lines accounting, 14. So that means you have applied for, gas cards, store cards, lines of credit, anything that you can on the EIN only. Once you stack up 14, the whole world of business credit opens up to you. You can start to get massive amounts of lines of credit, massive amounts of auto financing, all only on your EIN number, not affecting your Social Security number at all. And this is very, very powerful, but this is also the hardest part. Getting started, getting set up. That's why we're here to help you guys. So this is how we do it though. Okay. So the first step is you want to get 5 payment experiences reporting to your credit report. All right. A payment experience is just a line of credit, right? So you're going to go, let me see if I can find this. So like Uline, right? Uline is basically just a shipping and packaging company, right? So you basically want to buy something from Uline and then pay it back. And that's considered one payment history, right? That's considered one payment experience. And I'll show you guys all of these. So you go here, you buy some boxes or whatever, heavy duty. You go to checkout, and instead of paying now, you pay on credit, right? And then you're going to put your information in, and you're going to be able to buy this now on a line of credit. So this is pretty cool. You have to build an account, blah, 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 blah. And you put all your business information in here. And then now, instead of paying it in cash, it's going to report to, as you said before, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. Sorry, I did that backwards. And they're going to basically have one payment experience on your credit report. And again, the goal is to get at least 5 of these credit experiences in the beginning. Once you have 5, you can move on to the next level, right? So there's levels to this stuff, and you basically have to make sure that you are building your business credit properly. And if you see that you're getting denied for the beginner 5 experiences, what the hell happened? Then it just means that your business profile wasn't set up correctly, right? So you have to go back to the beginning. But once you get to 14, the world opens. So, all right. So a payment experience though is one of these accounts. And you get the product, you pay them back. So when you're building your business credit, the fastest way to do it is apply to like all of these beginner vendors that are going to approve you for just your EIN number. If they're ever asking for your Social Security number, you screwed up, right? So just the EIN number. And you want to get as many of these as possible. And you want to pay it back as fast as you possibly can, because as soon as you pay it back, you're going to be able to show that you have one good payment experience. And once you start to stack up these different credit lines on your business profile, you're going to be able to start to get approved for bigger and bigger and bigger and better business credit cards and business credit. Okay. Some of these, though, again, if they're a net 30 or they're maybe a net 90, that means that they're not going to report to the Dun & Bradstreet, to the Experian, to Equifax within 90 days. So you're going to literally have to wait 90 days for that one account to show up on your business credit profile. And once it starts to show up though, now you're going to be able to get approved for more and more and more. And again, it's literally for business credit is just how many accounts are on your credit report. Okay, it looks like 10 other people have said you're good, you've got good credit, we'll approve you as well. And you have to ask yourself, the reason that the big banks want to lend money to businesses is because businesses make all the money, right? So they don't give a shit about your social security number. They just want to know this business looks like it's bona fide. Other people are backing it. I want to lend them money because this business is making money, which means they are more likely to pay me back, right? And the only thing the banks are worried about is, are you going to bankrupt the business, right? And if your business has multiple other creditors, multiple other people vouching for them, you're less likely to go out of business, right? So building business credit the right way. The problem is that 90% of these little vendors do not report to the credit bureaus, right? So if you get a line of credit, but it doesn't report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, then it doesn't fucking exist and it doesn't help your credit profile. I mean, it might still exist. You might have a line of credit, but it's not going to help you build business credit because it's not reporting to the bureaus. Now, later on, when you have really good credit, you can apply to all those different weird credits, and it's kind of cool that you can get business without it. All right. But this is why so many business owners think that they have established business credit when they don't, because they have lines of credit with vendors and businesses that do not report to the credit bureaus. So you'll need to find vendors that do report to the business credit bureau agencies. And this is the hardest and most challenging part of building business credit. Don't worry, I'm going to give you guys a list and everything. But once you get past this major hurdle, it's much easier to take the next steps. Okay. So the starter vendor accounts. So these are the ones that you want to start with. You must start a business credit profile and secure to get started. The vendors are the ones who will give you the initial credit, even if you have no personal credit, no personal score, and no trade lines on your business, right? So you want to basically work with these companies and not screw them over, and you want them to report, though, that your business is legit and you're bona fide. Most stores like Staples will not give you an initial starter credit or try and do anything. So there's certain ones that you have to do that you really want to build up. So these are the 7 ones that I recommend you guys all start. And again, you want to apply to all of these. Like as soon as you know that your business is all set up correctly and you have the foundation there, you want to apply to as many of these as possible. And the thing about business credit is that business credit doesn't have inquiries on your personal credit, which means you can apply to as many different business cards as you want, and it's not going to hurt anything. That's why when we do our funding here at Credit Leverage X, first we do personal credit cards, then we do first we do commercial, then we do online, then we do local credit unions, and then we're going to do business at the end, because the business at the end, you'll have more credit lines established, but also it doesn't matter how many times you apply for business credit cards because it doesn't affect your personal credit. So these are the ones that we recommend. Uline, I showed you guys that. CEO Creative, this is actually kind of cool. This is if you want to get merch for your business, you can get an approved. And then as you can see here, let's go back. As you can see here, these are the things that you need to have in order to open up an account with this company. All right. So this is going to report to Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax, and it's a net 30 account. All right. How to qualify for CEO Creative. Your business entity must be good on all levels. You have to be able, same thing with the Secretary of State. You have to pay an application fee to work with these people. Your business must have some business credit history. And you have to have an EIN number. You must be in business at least 90 days. Your business address must match everywhere. And if you can get a business license, even better. And you have to have a business bank account. And then now you can go and get a line of credit with CEO Creative. Granger, that's the one we talked about, that you have to have the business license. To qualify, you must have one of the following. You must have a business license, an EIN number, a business address matching everywhere, a business bank account number, a Dun & Bradstreet number, right? Advanced Auto Parts, I know you guys have those probably somewhere. You have to basically have an entity that is in good standing with the Secretary of State. You have to have an EIN number with an IRS number. You must have your business address matching everywhere. You got to have a Dun & Bradstreet number. You got to have a business license. You got to have a business bank account and a business address. Okay, so you guys start to see there's a pattern here. They care about your business address. They care about your Dun & Bradstreet number. This is how you're going to get approved, though, for these business lines of credit. Credit Strong is really good. They have a bunch of stuff that we can talk about later. But you have to have your EIN number. You have to have a business with good standing. You have to have with Secretary of State, Dun & Bradstreet, business bank account, must be in business for at least 3 months. And it must be an LLC or a corporation, right? And then Wex Fleet, that actually check a lot of different businesses. So this is a big one. If you applied to too many things with Wex Fleet, they'll stop you and you'll have to basically apply again next month, which is kind of weird. But you have to have some net 15s, blah, blah, some credit. And we'll just kind of go through these. And then Home Depot is the last one. You need to have at least 30 days with Experian. You need to have a virtual office or a legit address. Entity must be in good standings. EIN, Dun & Bradstreet, so on and so forth. Okay, and then now that you have those things, That's like your first round. Those are the vendors that are going to get you approved. And it's hard to get the first round of vendors, but you want to get, like I said, you want to apply to these today, and you want to get like 10 of these reporting as soon as you possibly can. Because as soon as you start to get these things reporting on your credit report, now you can move on to the next step, which is the big money. All right. So there's a lot of reporting agencies that score and monitor. The main ones that you need to keep an eye on: Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score, Experian, Intel score, Equifax small business risk score with an extra E. These are the ones that people are going to be looking at. You don't want to be risky. You want to be on all three of these, and you want to have a good score on all three of these. And then you want to keep getting more and more accounts reporting to all three of these credit bureaus. That's the key, basically. Okay, so there's 4 tiers to building business credit. We talked about the first tier. Those are going to be the vendors, right, that are going to give you trade lines. These vendors are going to be your best friends in the beginning. And you want to get as many of them as humanly possible. And you want to basically build the relationship. You want to buy crap from them, and you want to pay it back as soon as you humanly can. Some of them, you can't even pay them back as soon as you get them. You have to wait for them to ship them. And then they have to create a invoice. And then as soon as you get the invoice, you have to pay it off. Right. But you want to just start building these business relationships. You want to get the gas cards for your company. You want to get the shipping products. You want to get the merch from all these different things. And then you want to pay them back as fast as you possibly can. And then as these business accounts start to report to your business credit, you want to get 5 of them in order to move on out of tier 1. Okay. Once you have 5 lines of business credit reporting on Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, now we can move up to tier 2. The second tier of business credit is commonly called advanced trade credit. These are the types of vendor accounts typically offering large credit lines and longer repayment programs, longer than net 30s. In some cases, you can use these advances to buy equipment and other purchases, right? So tier 2, look at that. You're starting to get bigger stuff. You're not just gas cards and little knickknacks. Now you can actually get credit for equipment, big purchases. All right. So now at tier 2, I would say you really want to go from like 5 reporting trade lines, 5 reporting accounts on your business profile above 10. Once your credit is above 10, now you can move into tier 3. Okay, rather than working with another business to get credit, right? Because a lot of these are like Home Depot, Staples, like those are businesses giving you lines of credit. Now we can start to go and talk to the banks. Okay, now we can start to get banks, lending unions, online lenders, so on and so forth. And then once you get above 14 accounts reporting on your business profile, now you can really get some serious money. You can get investors, you can get venture capitalists, your lines of credit, and now you're legit in the eyes of the banking world. Okay, so again, step 1, get the immediate lines of credit for your business. Okay, so eCredible, Uline, gas cards, Murphy's, so on and so forth. Step 2, monitor your credit. As soon as you get 5 accounts, or you think you've got 5 accounts, like I would shoot for 10 or 15, like as many accounts as you can, and pay them and make sure that you stay on top of it. Now you want to monitor your credit report, and you don't have a credit report, right? If you just set up your business and you go to Equifax or Dun & Bradstreet, you try and look it up, there's nothing there. You have to apply first. Once you apply and you get approved for some of those weird vendor accounts, now you can actually go and monitor your credit. All right. And it's going to take anywhere from like 30 to 60 days for all these accounts to start to report, and you're going to monitor it. All right. Step number 3, you're going to move up. You're going to get retail and fleet credit tiers. Okay. You're going to get Home Depot cards, ExxonMobil, Office Max, United Rentals, right? And now you're starting to get more accounts. Now in step 3, you're really shooting for above 10 accounts. You want to get as many of these credit lines as possible. And then you're going to be able to go to step 4. This is where you can get some serious money. Now you can go to KeyBank. You can go to Umquay or whatever. You're going to go to Interest Bank. And this is going to give you lines of credit. This is going to give you big stuff. And this is kind of like what you need, right? You need 1 year in business. You need to have a Dun & Bradstreet number. And you need to have multiple lines of credit. And all these different banks have different rules. But once you start to get 14 reports or 14 accounts reporting to your business, your EIN only, the banks are going to open up the wallets, open up the purse strings, and give you more money and give you lines of credit, all without ever pulling your social security number, without giving a crap about what your personal credit is, without how much money you make on the side, right? They don't care about any of your personal assets. They just care about that EIN number, because your EIN number is now bona fide and they will lend to it. Okay. And once you get above 14 accounts, you can actually get business auto financing. All right. So you can get, once you have 14 accounts or more, and you have one credit limit that's above 10,000, right? When you get these credit limits, you really want to use the money, right? Because if you use the money and then you pay it back, these business lines of credit are going to say, okay, look, he's been responsible to pay back $10,000 very quickly. We could give him $20,000. So we could give them another $10,000 credit limit, and we're comfortable with that. But once you get 14 accounts on your business profile, you can go and get cars in your business's name. This is auto financing without having to put any money down. This is strictly based on your business credit, right? This is where things start to get kind of fun. So you can basically, and the reason you would want to get a car in your business is because, God forbid, like an employee or somebody else is driving around and messes something up, you don't want to get sued, right? So now you have your business set up as an establishment, and now it's starting to own assets in the business, right? You have your own LLC, you have your own cars in the LLC in the business. And then these are the things to get approved though, right? You want to have a commercial financing or a commercial vehicle financing. You have to be in good sense with the Secretary of State, EIN number, business address, matching everywhere, Dun & Bradstreet, business license if applicable, a business bank account, bank references, financing, and your Dun & Bradstreet has to be above 80. So you have to have a higher score. And then if you don't want to do it just off the business, you can get business financing, but you're going to have to PG it with a 640 credit score, which kind of defeats the purpose. But now you know how you can get business credit and how you can really build this thing up.